A cottage life on the rocks is all smooth sailing for an architect's family and neighbors.
I've been living with an architect for a very long time, so the appearance of a triangular-shaped building was not a huge surprise to me.
The big surprise about this retreat? No dry land.
You are part of your environment here. That's the unique and wonderful thing about staying in a float home.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm John, and this is our retreat. We're at Kildare Marina and we're headed to the Nias Islands, which are only 5 minutes or so, depending on how fast you drive your boat. And a beautiful day like this, we can go fast.
If John Stark couldn't be happier, it's because he's headed to the most beautiful place on Earth. To him, anyway. He's bound for the Nias Islands. You'll find them right here, in Georgian Bay, aka the 6th Great Lake. So called for its size and location.
Well, our island is the middle island, and we actually call it Midnight. And on the west side to the right is John and Karen Agnew's island, and on the left side to the east is Frederick and Mary Davidson's island.
John's architectural style has earned him minor celebrity status in the area and brought him close to his neighbors. Their 3 humpback shoal islands form a tight cottage community. This is how you rock it, Georgian Bay style.
We are completely in the middle of nowhere because we're on the edge of the open water in Georgian Bay. So we really look in all directions. We have only the immediate neighbors of the Nias Islands and wonderful friends and neighbors that we've gotten to know each other very well.
John's neighbors took over these islands from the Crown back in the 60s. They've been coming ever since. John and wife Chris haven't been here as long, but their love of the place runs as deep as the bay itself.
I absolutely love Georgian Bay. We have 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. Our daughter and her husband have our 2 grandchildren. Nathan, who's 3.5, and Ashlyn, who's 7 months. And our 2 boys actually recently and their wives have bought their own island nearby. So this is wonderful for us. We're really becoming a Georgian Bay family.
Nathan, what's the most fun thing to do at the cottage?
Catch bugs.
Did you get that one? I was introduced to Georgian Bay and very quickly came to love the open water and the space and the intensity of everything. The sun is sunnier and the water is bluer, and it's just the wind is windier, it's the rain rains harder. It's just a very exciting experience to be out here, and I really love it.
To really take in all those elements, John gave his cottage the mother of all views. But if you can see out, can't you see in as well?
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
The way we've designed the building with regard to our neighboring islands, they can't see into our building because the islands are staggered and the siting of the buildings is staggered, so they don't overlook each other.
We see our neighbors on a fairly regular basis, but we aren't interacting all the time. We're available to help one another out. If anybody needs something or anybody is wanting groceries, you've got somebody you can borrow your cup of sugar from, but you really got your own privacy as well.
The perfect balance of privacy and company. We're square with that. As for the shape of the place, that's another story.
We did buy this island a long time ago, and it certainly didn't have a triangular-shaped building when we moved here, but I've been living with an architect for a very long time, so the appearance of a triangular-shaped building was not a huge surprise to me.
Well, This building is a triangle, and so we're right at the apex of the building, actually. This is the point right here, and so it goes up this way and goes up this way. And I jokingly tell my friends that there's only 3 sides to my building, so it costs, that much less to build it, but it's actually not true. My view about a cottage like this is we only are here in the summertime, so we should do things that we can only do and provide a framework for the reason that we're here. And the reason we're here is because of Georgian Bay and the island, not for the building itself. We can have it all glass. And for those that are interested in cost, glass is actually very inexpensive. We don't have to have double glazing when we're not heating the building. So I was able to do that and build a very simple building.
Breaking free of cottage traditionalism was the only way for this architect. But are the neighbors on board?
I think some people really wonder why we designed it the way we did and whether it's a little too open and whether we're feeling any apprehension about having such an open cottage. But in actual fact, in my experience as an architect, there's something about a hierarchy of spaces. And if you're up higher above the water, they have to look up at you so that they think you're looking down at them. So they don't actually do that.
Still, with so beautiful a structure, it's hard not to stare. How's it look inside?
When we're in the living room, it's all one room really, but when we're in this area, you can really see the triangular shape of the building. But in actual fact, I pushed it out on one side to create a nice sort of sitting area here. This building has 1 bedroom. Our guests love to stay in this building. We have 2 other buildings with bedrooms, one for family with 3 bedrooms, and then a master cabin separately from that. Our guests have the building to themselves when they're here, and so we have just the kitchen down in this area with a view out, which Chris really loves. Everyone came to look at this incredible view over the kitchen sink out of the windows.
In this rugged, spectacular environment, beauty abounds. And having modern conveniences doesn't mean sacrificing that wilderness feeling.
We're off the grid. We're on a rock, we're on an island. We have all the amenities you would expect to have in a summer home. We do not have things like electric heat, for example, but we do have propane heat and we do have wood heat, wood fire. And we're very comfortable. We have a dishwasher, we have electric refrigerators on all season. We run our business here too in the summer.
Well, we did make a choice that this is what we wanted to do. There is hydro that's not really far away. It's something that we weren't really interested in, and in fact, all 3 islands discussed it and all 3 islands rejected switching over to hydro. They're all using solar and generators for backup.
That community spirit gives the Nias their powerful allure. Like a magnetic force, it reaches right around the globe.
When you live in Australia, the whole world is on the way because you have to travel a long way.
The cottages of Georgian Bay are some of the most desired in all of Canada, especially those perched on the breathtaking shoals called Nias Islands. They draw people from all around. By that we mean all around the world, even down under.
Hi, I'm Frederick.
Hi, I'm Mary, and this is our retreat. We live in Australia. We live in Melbourne. I grew up in Canada and have been coming to Georgian Bay most of my life. We're very employed, but we're not gainfully employed, and so we can come here for the winters. Australian winter fits perfectly.
We were married in Toronto, but moved to Brussels. So coming here was the first time was in 1968. Very beautiful, loved it here. This suits Mary very well.
History and beauty make for loyal vacationers here on the Nias. Still, when it comes to vacations, this family really goes the distance.
When you live in Australia, the whole world is on the way because you have to travel a long way. But when we come, we do lots of other traveling as well. It's wonderful to come here. It's such a different pace of life, and it's in my soul, so I need to come get a recharge.
Mary's family bought the island in 1968. She and her husband decided to entirely rebuild. And when you're rebuilding on this tight-knit cluster of islands, who you gonna call? John Stark. A very wise decision, it turns out.
I open the door, we walk in, can't think where the white light switches are. I see the refrigerator. Ah, it has a light. Open the refrigerator door and find the light switches. The house was complete. Everything, the furniture was all in, the dishes were put in place, the showers, the towels were out, the beds were made. It was the most exciting coming into a new house. It really was fabulous, all ready.
The only time I've seen Mary have a little bit too much to drink was the wine that night. Such a celebration.
Well, this is our special sleeping cabin.
John designed this, and the idea was to have something which is self-contained, really, and it is. It's also good insulation here, insulation in the ceiling and in the floors, and this is gas, so it will heat. So we're here early or staying late in September, then it's warm here. It holds the heat very well.
We're heading to the main house. When I come into our cottage and I look at that space that he's designed for us in the main cottage, I'm always awed by the simple beauty, and having that double height is just a lovely space to be in. This is the master bedroom with a little ensuite. It's very comfortable. In order to fit another bedroom into the house on the footstep that we had, this is what John did. So we very carefully fitted in the staircase and put this room up. And we can really accommodate a family here if we need to. We've got a couple of camp beds. And the kids love looking down. Wonderful views from up here. John has absolutely maximized the views from this setting on the island.
The rugged beauty of the area famously inspired landscapes by artists of the Group of Seven. And it inspired Fred, too.
Mary, she does the water sports, which I don't like that much. Most of what I paint is Georgian Bay. It's a delight, and it's a constant reminder of this place. What I'm going to do is do a Georgian Bay sketchbook. When I get back to Australia, I'll actually do that with the narrative on each page. Then have the children, the grandchildren do the narratives and so forth.
When I come to Georgian Bay, my soul is restored. I feel very much at peace with the world, with myself. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I just can be so happy to be alive. So happy that my father migrated from England and came to Canada so that Georgian Bay is part of my life.
The Agnews love their Nias Island retreat in all its beauty, but they also don't mind catching a bit of the 6 o'clock news.
The great controversy here was I got a TV 3 years ago. We had people complain about me getting a TV.
Georgian Bay is known for the granite bedrock exposed by glacial melt at the end of the last ice age. Much more recently, one lucky family bought some of its islands from the Crown. Now, the next generation, the Agnews, have taken over. And they gave up something mighty coveted to do it.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Karen, and this is our retreat.
These globetrotters spent years away, but the call of granite rock formations and windswept eastern white pine was too enticing.
We chose to come back. We had a wild experience giving back the green card. The American immigration people said no one ever hands these back. I said, well, we are. So we moved back because of this place.
For 10 weeks every summer, this is the place where they are keeping things real.
The children had a lot of their milestones here, between potty training to swimming to learning to kayak. They each went to summer camp a few times for the experience, but mostly they spent it here.
Those old cottage walls were full of great memories. Problem is, there wasn't much else holding them up.
On a Thanksgiving Monday, about 10 years ago, a window fell out of one of the cabins from dry rot. And I said, well, that'll be fine. We'll just put some plywood up and we'll, fix it next year. And Karen made a good point. Yes.
I said, no, we're going to get our friends to come and knock this down, and let's call John to come over and see if he can design us something over the winter.
Calling Georgian Bay's architect-in-chief felt like a no-brainer. John Stark managed to once again harmonize the privacy and neighborly aspects of Nias Island's geography.
We have the best of both worlds in that on the aspect that we really live, which is the west side, we don't look at anybody, but we have the advantage of having a neighbor should we need them. Okay, so here we are in our family room / kitchen. Very simple kitchen, but it provides all we need. We have propane stove, propane fridge. The only thing we have electricity here for really is the electric lights, television, and to charge our computers. Dining room, simple. Propane fireplace if it's really cold. And John also designed this so that with these big glass doors, if it was really, really cold, we could have this on and close those glass doors and be a little more contained in this area. As you might have noticed, every room that we've gone into, we've stepped up. The roof line is one line, but inside the building it steps up because we're building up over the rocks. Master bedroom, nice view. The sunset's right out there. In amongst those 3 islands on the horizon is the sunset, so that's always fantastic. And the sunrise comes through those windows here, so it's always nice and bright. And our favorite place to sit is down in those 2 little chairs there because that's the perfect sunset watching space if it's just John and I here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for supper. Our Nias barbecue supper is now served. Please come into the dining area and help yourselves, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm feeling absolutely wonderful about where my cottage is. All our best friends from the other Nias Islands have been here for the evening having dinner with us and barbecue supper on Nias Island. It's just a wonderful experience, and to end it with this lovely sunset that we have is just spectacular.
You look at this view here every night, look at the sunset, and you see the sun sink into the lake. There's nothing to match it. As my mother used to say, it was a good way to look at it. She said only good things happen on Nias Island.
As the sun sets on the Nias Islands, it's rising on an entirely unique cottage experience.
Your first-hand nature experience is right out your back door. It is a unique lifestyle. A lot of people are curious about the lifestyle of living on a float home. It's a dream for many people. I'm Lynn, and this is my retreat.
Vancouver Island is a major winner in the Natural Beauty Sweepstakes. Bird's Eye Cove is one of its many little pieces of heaven. You'll find it nestled here, just a stone's throw from the town of Duncan. Maple Bay Marina is a place to float your boat or live on the water.
They're on floats, so they respond to the tides, the weather, and the wind and that type of thing, but they're also anchored to this particular dock that we're walking along right now.
Some of these float homes are permanent residences for some lucky folks. But if you're visiting and want the experience, you can rent one. Lynn makes that happen here.
It is a unique lifestyle. A lot of people are curious about the lifestyle of living on a float home. It's a dream for many people. So we're really pleased that we can actually provide an experience for people to actually rent it, try it out for a little bit as a little mini vacation, and sample a little bit of the lifestyle that these people choose on a permanent basis.
Whether permanent or just passing in the night, the floating home needs to be seen and felt to be believed.
You are part of your environment here. That's the unique and wonderful thing about staying in a float home. You are part of the elements, the wind, the way the tides are changing, any of that kind of thing. You will feel that. And it's not like being on a boat because it's not obviously as susceptible with the hull being a different shape. And it is a retreat. It's something that's uniquely special. So this is Sea Shanty. It's about 700 square feet, and there are 2 bedrooms upstairs in a loft type arrangement. Queen on one side and a double on the other side. I always find that I sleep very, very well in a float home because there is the motion of it moving. It kind of rocks you to sleep a little bit, which is really wonderful. We've maximized the use of space in here. We've treated it like a boat, so basically all of the space that's in here is usable. Got a nice little living room here in the front with the TV and whatnot. The Sea Shanty has a quaint little kitchen that comes completely stocked with toaster, coffee maker, some coffee, a little refrigerator, and a stove. But the main attraction and star of this show is to be out on this dock right here and walking on water. It's beautiful. This is where you can watch those herons, watch those otters swim by, the seals, and all the beautiful birds that are in this area. It's just gorgeous.
The glories of nature are for everyone to enjoy, but the pleasures of the Sea Shanty floating home can be all yours, and all for the low, low price of $120 a night.
It's quiet, it's peaceful, and you are part of a magical little community here that really cares about their environment. And we care about the waters here as well. So we've got a beautiful, pristine area here that will definitely de-stress you if you stay here for a few days.